2012 CAA Football Media Day Live.
213 wins sitting right here in this chair. You've been doing this a long time as you go into your 33rd season. William and Mary last year at 5-6. What are your expectations now to go from 5-6 now into a winning record this year?
Well, obviously you want to improve. Obviously we bounced back. We've had, you mentioned all those wins. We've had some pretty good teams. We, 2 years ago we won the conference championship, and had been in the playoffs for a couple straight years, and all of that. So again, but we want to get back, and we played well at times last year, just not consistently enough. So hopefully we can improve, and hopefully we can get better play of the quarterbacks and not turn it over at certain times, and go on from there.
You said right in that one sentence, consistency and quarterback. Right. And there was one thing last year you said you needed to improve in. How does that improve this year?
Well, it improves all the guys that we have competing for the position. And again, we do not have a set quarterback. Now, that is one of the things, you go back to the history of William & Mary football, we've had great quarterbacks in the past. But that's one of the things that we've got to determine in preseason is who's going to be the quarterback. And then these guys have gotten a year older. They know our program better. They know the system. They've been here all summer working out. Right. They're ready to go.
That leads us into a Twitter question we have, and you can hit us on Twitter if you have any questions for the coaches coming up. It's _CAA football, and this one comes from Chadwick. Question: what do you think the breakout player on offense will be this year?
That's a good question, because I think I'd like for it to be quarterback. If I had my choice, it would be the quarterback. But I look more like maybe a Ryan Moody. Ryan's been a senior receiver for us. He's had some great games, had played really well. Then got banged up a little bit. So if I had to look at a breakout player right now, I would probably say Ryan.
How do you replace a guy like Jonathan Grimes?
You replace Jonathan with about 4 or 5 backs. That's about what you do. You get a rotation down, 4 or 5 guys in there. He played the last. He went over 200 yards the last 3 games last year on one leg. I mean, he just was an outstanding player. But we've got some good backs. But again, I think the focus of our offense will probably be different without John.
I think he had 11 all-conference awards in his 4 seasons. So that is, I mean, you can look back, one of the all-time greats there at William and Mary. Defensively, it looks like your secondary may be your strongest part of that defense. Is that the case?
I think we've got good speed and good depth on defense, and especially the secondary and the linebacker areas. I feel like those guys we got B.W. Webb there in the secondary as a corner who's outstanding player. Jabril Mines, a linebacker, an outstanding player. So we've got speed, we've got depth there. It's how the defense will gel together and play together as a unit.
You mentioned Webb, but what about a guy maybe not talked about as much in Brian Thompson?
He's just a good, quiet, hard-nosed football player that does everything you've asked him to do. He's one of our co-captains, and we call him BT. Right. We even brought him down playing linebacker some last year. He can do whatever, and that's one of the things that I like about players is that the consistency, and when he's out there, you know what you're getting.
We know over the history of this conference how good it has been, and you've been around for every step of the way. Overall, 6 of the teams last year finished in the top 25. Every year, multiple teams going to the tournament, to the playoffs. How good is this conference, and as it continues to grow, how much better can it be?
Well, I think it will continue to get better. I think because, coaches and players are going to push for it. You get better players in the league, get better recognition, so therefore you get better players. But again, I've been in the league for a while, and the thing that it keeps jumping out at you at the league is there's no easy games. There's no gimmies. Anybody's capable of winning this league, and your preseason predictions really mean absolutely nothing. It's just a matter of who gets good quarterback play, who plays good defense, and who wins the turnover margin. Those are the things I think will make a difference every year.
I'm sure all those things you'd like to get against Maryland. When you open the season, what kind of challenge against the Terrapins will you guys face?
Well, that's one of the things why we play a team like that every year, is because we want to give our players an opportunity to challenge themselves and see what they can do. And again, you still got to play football. You still got to block, you got to tackle, you got to catch, and you got to do it. But again, your mistakes will be magnified against players like that. But it's something that helps you grow up as a football team. It helps you get better, and you want to compete on a high level, and that's what our players do.
Yeah, that game in College Park, September 1st, and that's where you'll kick off the season. Best of luck in 2012, Coach. Always great to see you.
Thank you. My pleasure.